Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny Birak. Welcome to all of you and happy Easter, everybody. I'm making this video the evening before Easter. And so this is a message from Archangel Sandalphon. For those of you who have connected in with the energy of Archangel Sandalphon, you know that he has a very joyful, fun, easygoing vibration. I see him a lot as the ruling like that Pisces Virgo axis it's about bringing heaven to earth and the harvest, what we take responsibility for, like in the way that we take care of the practical meaning and putting into practice the gifts of the spirit. So, not only just saying the words that we put on the armor of God, but then actually acting those things out. And that's what he rules. Music is a part of that. In Pisces, we see like divine inspiration and music being a part of all of that. He always has the best soundtracks, I find. Whenever we're feeling low, you can always ask Sandalphon to just play some songs for you throughout the day, and he'll bring to your mind music from that you're comfortable with, that you would enjoy. I asked him also to help me out with Spotify in that way. And when we were talking about this video in particular, I said like, well, what kind of songs will you recommend? And then he, brought in Freddie Mercury. The title of the video is different, but we talked about the lyrics many times of "We are the champions." No time for losers. No time for like, oh, poor me, or what will I do now? No time for like allowing doubt to seep in. In other words, just recognizing that you're a champion and that you came here and you're here now because you could handle all of this. Your soul wanted to have this experience because you're a master. So it's about bringing the gifts of our own ascended mastery into form on the planet, putting those into practice on the planet, and recognizing that you have all of the gifts internal, all of the gifts that you need to bring that forward. They're already part of you. You've already had the experiences that gave you the tools to be able to live through this time and still be able to celebrate life. And, Pisces also has a lot to do with sorrow, like the depths of sorrow that we can go into. And he was saying that, there isn't a wrong way to feel right now, is what he's saying. That no one is judging you or has a scorecard saying like, oh, they didn't handle it that well. We're all like working our way through. This is something new, at least in this timeline for all of us. It's bringing up a lot of feelings of panic. And he's saying that we're remembering times that we've struggled to survive. And so just to be great, have grace for yourself and to be gentle with yourself and for all of the others. And he's mainly showing me now all of those who are just in desperation. I know I have family members, I'm sure a lot of you do, or at least know people who are really struggling and really fearful about their own survival. And that's a very real thing. I don't want to, he was talking about like placating our feelings and just sort of like, not allowing emotions to come up. And when emotions need to well up, it's important to acknowledge those emotions and to have an emotional release. Doesn't mean that we stay stuck in the sadness for, the whole day, but it isn't also, we don't want to go the other way where we're just ignoring it and thinking of everything that's happy and just pushing it out of our minds. It's okay to allow ourselves to take a moment, take stock, he's saying, to feel what you're feeling. And, it's just been funny to notice how many people will do anything to avoid taking time and looking inward. It's like the thing that some people are the most fearful of is like having that moment. He's talking about having a moment to spare, like a moment when we actually could focus on just ourselves, and maybe putting work to the side or what you're doing for everybody else and really taking a moment to focus on what it is that you need. What are your needs and your desires? And what do you feel like going through this? He's saying, like, being your own therapist and allowing yourself time for yourself. And, the way that we show someone that we love them is by paying time and attention to them. And that's the way that we show our own self-love, is spending time, directing our attention, our focus to ourselves. And he's also acknowledging that, like me, a lot of you actually have more responsibility now. Like I was gonna just as a joke tell all of you that I become a special needs educator and an occupational therapist too. So it's pretty amazing that I managed to get that done. But, a lot of us have like no one at home with us, and that can leave us feeling really lonely. And then some of us have, people at home with us, maybe that we, try not to spend so much time with. And now we're forced to spend time with that person, with that soulmate. And so really like allowing ourselves to, he's talking about releasing feelings of being overwhelmed and burdened. And he's not even showing that like for those of us that have more on our plates now. He's talking about because we want to do as much as we can, as much as we possibly can to help everyone who is struggling. And so in that effort, he's saying we may have allowed others' emotions or fears or, just lower vibration to take hold, to filter into our space. And right now with all of the downloads that we're getting and the upgrades that we're getting that are enhance our psychic abilities, our intuitive abilities, that some of us may be connecting through, he's calling them old avenues, like old ways that we used to connect. Like typically, and I'm not going to say all of them because I've talked to gifted psychics on this way as well. But a lot of times if you do call a psychic or you speak to a psychic, they're reading what a part of you believes to be true. And that's kind of the way that he's showing that some of us may be linking in now just into the collective energy of what's out there. I had some of that in my space. I actually had symptoms of the virus. It was an attachment. They showed it to me like as I was waking up, but it took up my entire aura. I was completely exhausted. I was feverish and achy. I had a sore throat. And I kind of started to panic because I was like, this is not happening to me. And then, I called somebody and she was able to release the attachment for me. I do go outside. I mean, I do it myself too, but when it's something that's like taking up all of that space, it can make it hard to even think straight. I've released a lot of attachments from people lately that they may have just picked up from loved ones. And this, in my case, it was that sort of thing where, I picked it up from someone else that I was helping. Well, it was in a way to be helpful that a part of me hadn't quite gotten the memo that, don't need to do that kind of stuff. Not so helpful. And when we do take those things into our space, it doesn't mean that they leave the other person's space. It's just that we're linked through that vibration. And so he's talking about cleaning up, that we're going to do a cleanup. After we do this reading with Sandalphon, we're going to do a meditation and clean up your space and redefine borders and boundaries is what he's talking about, because boundaries have become like sort of enmeshed, like everyone's boundaries are sort of, meshing together. And then also releasing anything that you might have taken in by way of fear is what he's talking about. And he also wanted me to address some of the upgrades that we're being gifted with now. Those are happening, and I know for a lot of you, you're already having the experience of upgrades coming in through the solar plexus. Typically, that's taking place in sleep time or near sleep time. For me, I can feel it like when I lay down to go to sleep, I feel a vibration of like warmth filling the solar plexus, and then it will typically move up through your chakras and into the heart space. It's just allowing us to release. He's saying patterns of feeling powerless and just like fortifying our energy, and then being able to link into the what he's calling them renovations that are being done with the grid of the earth now. The earth is also having, so the way that works, there's actually a picture of the grid on my website, on the front page of my website, but there is a crystalline grid that goes around the earth. It's sort of like a netting. And there's a pattern, and in your earth star, which Archangel Sandalphon is over the covers the earth star. I don't like to assign angelic ray, this ray belongs with this chakra. That's not really the way that it works, but he is he watches over the earth star and helps us to connect in with Mother Gaia. So when I do healing work, I always witness like the earth star, and really, even if you're talking to me every week, it's not unusual. I mean, it's really pretty typical that there's some kind of debris around the earth star. So we always clean off the debris there, and then we witness it spinning, and it's bronze. It looks like a pentagram. I wish I had thought about that. I don't have a pentagram with me. But it's a pentagram, and it's sort of like that Bettine sort of finish is what I want to say, that it looks like. It's not always so shiny, but when we do the attunement, we witness it spinning and connecting into the crystalline grid of the earth. So while we do that meditation work, I'm going to have the camera on this likeness of Archangel Sandalphon. A friend of mine, Francesca, made this for me, and she's able to do angels for you as well. So I'll leave her contact information in the description box below. She also does energy healing, and I call on her several times. We trade work together. So I know that she's trustworthy for any of you that would be interested in giving her an audition, a try, if you wanted to try doing a session with her. She lives in Italy. She's Italian, but she went to university in England. So, and obviously she talks to me every day, and I don't speak Italian. So there's no problem with language with that. But she made that for me, and I thought it was really fascinating. All of the other angels are on the wall, so I can't show you. But with Sandalphon, all of the others, the wings are going up as well as coming down, and his are just going down. And that's actually how I do my energy clearing in the morning, is I stand with my arms not too far from my body, but not touching my body, and I bring up the energy from the earth. So we're going to do a really fantastic healing meditation after this message, and that I'll tack on to the end of this video. I'm not going to be on camera because I pull a lot of energy. I can shut the power off in my house and turn it back on, and I like to be standing because I want to make sure that I want to be holding all of that energy and witnessing it and not worrying about what's going on with the camera. I also make funny faces when I do the meditation, so I just prefer it, and we'll just put his energy on camera for that. So I did pull cards with Sandalphon. I'm not sure if we'll talk maybe later some of the other things that he wanted me to share along with the cards. And of course, for his card, or for his reading, we're doing the Earth Warriors Oracle. Because Archangel Sandalphon, I just see him so much with the Virgo energy in the practical ways that we bring the energy of pure love and the inspiration of heaven onto planet Earth, the practical ways that we set that in motion. And so, he's all about like recycling, reusing, anything that we can do to beautify the planet. And beautify, he's talking about our own little space, where you like to hang out in your house. Any kind of artwork that you do or that you have around you, gaining inspiration from anything of beauty right now is important. And he really wanted this video to be an encouragement for everyone to, let you know that they see you, that the angels, that they see you, that they're with you, that they're on your team, is what he's saying. And that they recognize that there is a lot of worry about what will come next, as far as the economy and just people trying to make ends meet right now. And he's saying that right now you can just allow yourself to release that. And then he's showing me that he's lifting that off of your shoulders. And he shows me that as he releases it, that it's just transmuted to light. So, and he's reminding everyone that where our energy goes, where our focus goes, that energy follows that manifestations follow that. And so to focus on the next step of the process, he's saying being as painless as possible. And that you're always able to call on them at times that you feel like you may need a pick-me-up. He's reminding me of days that I've said that I need the angels to carry me today because I'm having a tough day. He's saying you can always call on them. They're always with you. They're a part of you. And so, I just say, that I'm open to all of the help and assistance that I could possibly have from the Creator's pure love. And that covers all of his representatives that come in as those rays, as the angels. Okay, so let's get to the card reading. So the first card that we have, and these cards are tricky because she uses indigenous titles. So this is Vera Coca, Honor the Light. And as I usually do, I've already marked the pages for the reading. So let's see if I can do this with one hand. You are a light bearer. Your sole purpose is to redress the presence of darkness on this planet through shining the light. You are meant to do this in the ways that feel most uplifting to you. What brings brightness to your spirit? Do those things. How can you create a loving legacy to remind others of the light? Exploring and expressing the light in ways that remind others to seek the light too is a way to fulfill your divine destiny. Your light is powerful. Use it. So when what he's getting at there is that we don't need to give any attention or power, he's saying, to the shadow by constantly watching videos that are like, oh, this and that and that. And remembering that the light is always more powerful. I mean, that's demonstrated every time we walk into a room and we turn on the light. I was talking about like how I've been getting those disturbing messages, and it was a text thread that I was involved in where people were passing those videos around. And I saw the comments really like shocking to me because of the people involved in the thread. But, about like, oh, it sounds like the good guys keep getting close to winning, but they keep getting knocked out of that's not true. That's just someone's subconscious, unhealed issues coming through. But the light is not like struggling, he's saying, or like having difficulty in overcoming the darkness. The darkness is always serving the light, always. And there's always a reason that we go through the things that we go through. And in the moment, we're not given an answer. I mean, I've never been given an answer. No matter how much we shout about it, is what he's saying, because I've demanded to know why this and this is playing out this way. And it isn't told to us until it's finished. And then we recognize that's part of our growth. You're a master. You've just forgotten, maybe. A lot of you I know have remembered, but when we haven't come to that place where we recognize our own gifts of ascended mastery It's because, and we're looking to the angels, to God, to like do something for us, or we think that someone could do something to us. It's only because we haven't remembered fully yet who exactly it is that we are. And he was saying too with that card that it's innate within each of us. We're all healers. Like we've been healers. And he's saying that it's nothing that we even need to practice, just by smiling at someone in the grocery store, or, checking on a neighbor. He's saying that those are all ways that lift not only our own vibration, but that affects the vibration of all that is. When we do something helpful and lift someone's spirits, it affects more than just the two people involved. Hayaka, sorceress of light. No enemy shall defeat you, not by night, nor by day, not upon the earth, nor in the soul. You are divinely protected and empowered. You shall fulfill your destiny with joy in your heart and laughter in your belly. Play. Be in nature. Feel the freedom of happiness within you, even in this moment. These are your sacred powers, and with them you shall take every step upon your journey successfully, and nothing shall thwart your divine destiny. Nothing. Not even quarantine. So, really just saying, you know what? I'm not buying into this whole thing that we're victimized. I'm not going to pay attention to someone else's ideas about what's happening anymore. Taking back your power from where you've given it away in that way, and recognizing that you are a part of the divine. You're a part of the creator. You're creating your life exactly the way that you would like it to be. That's your divine birthright. That's why you came here. We just, get into the DNA suit, and all those programs come rushing in, and we have these things play out the first 7 years, and we forget that that's what the point is. But now we're coming to a point where we're remembering, more and more of us are remembering who exactly it is that we are. That you're powerful. And a lot of times we don't come into our fullness of power because, for up until this point, it's been that those who are powerful demonstrated their power by utilizing it to crush others, and so we have that story where we're fearful of coming into our empowerment because in the subconscious, we believe that means that we're going to abuse the power of someone else. So it's really just giving your subconscious, the aspects of you who haven't realized yet, that full empowerment means coming into the light, fully into the light, and that's the true power, the most powerful resource that there is. The source of all that is the creator's frequency of pure unconditional love. That is that pearly white iridescent light that lives inside of you. That's who you are. Okay, so Amaru, the beautiful place. Your dreams of a more beautiful world are not a product of childish fantasy or idle imagination. They are true spiritual visions inspired by the universal heart that yearns for divine paradise to be manifested in all worlds. You have a life purpose to assist in the creation of divine harmony in the world through sacred activism and the expression of your soul talents. Believe that the beautiful world you long for is not only possible, but part of your spiritual responsibility to create. And a lot of that is recognizing that we don't shoulder, he's talking about the responsibility on our own, that there are, billions of light workers and people that care about this planet, even if they don't call themselves that we're not alone, that we're part of a massive team, is what he's saying. And really envisioning, especially like if you hear those conspiracy theories, which some of them, I tried to Google things because one of my clients told me she'd watched a video, and they're not even like, they're just, they put these things out there as if they're news, and they're not based in fact. And that's where we're giving our power away. When we start to buy into that, then you just allow that energy into your space. So yeah, we're going to clean up some of that stuff because I'm seeing it a lot as I'm talking in the video. And then this is Pachamama. I know you guys are probably correcting me, but but it's the words that you see there. Nourishment of the soul. You are granted the gifts of fertility, creativity, and earthly abundance to support all needs for nourishing body, mind, and soul, and to live your life fully and be capable of manifesting your divine purpose. Give yourself permission to be nourished. This includes your body and also providing your heart, your mind, your soul with what they are hungry for. Meaning, sweetness, divine love, and permission to be authentic. When you feed yourself that which you truly nourishes you, wisely and generously, you shall become one who can also feed the world that which it truly hungers for. So again, spending time doing things that we enjoy, that feed our energy. But also he asked me to address what's happening with food. So I know a lot of you, and Amanda said it in a video too, that we had talked about it. I spoke about Venus being out of bounds. And I did try to give you guys a heads up for that full moon. I did say, you know, it's the closest to the earth. Venus is ruling it. She's way out of bounds. I tried to let you know that that was going to be a serious full moon without being all negative, because you don't want to put that out there. But I did try to listen to what I'm saying right between the lines on that kind of stuff, because I'm never going to say like, oh, it's going to be a really, you know, challenging full moon. But yeah, it was with Venus this close to the earth. Venus rules food. And it's also, he's saying, what are you saying? That we're looking for a comforting. You know, we want to be comforted. And that for a lot of us, food is a source of comfort. And, you know, the moon also relates to food and our eating habits. And when the last degrees of Cancer now is where we have the North Node and the moon rules that, we're almost like set up for like an overly active appetite is what he's saying. But I just wanted to let all of you know that with the astrology that we have right now, and I'm not going to go too much into it, just to let you know that what we eat right now is going to be ours for quite a while, unless we're, you know, being active. He's talking about daily activity, something. And, you know, not to be like rigid or hard on ourselves when we don't meet the goal. But if you just say like, I'm going to stretch for 10 minutes, you know, something like that to engage your muscles, he's saying. He's talking about it's important right now to be engaging in an activity, an active lifestyle, being as active as we possibly can, because he recognizes that some of us are limited in that way. But, you know, whatever you can do, and feeding your mind with uplifting things, you know, this isn't like, you know, and I know obviously we're going to be binge watching shows, a lot of us. I've kind of gone back into like other eras of time. I've been doing that for a while now. And that's okay, you know, like just to bring a balance to that. And that what we're eating isn't something, and he's talking about whatever we choose to eat, just blessing it and not being like filled with regret while we're eating it. Like that's a sure way to put on extra weight, is every time that you eat thinking like, oh, I shouldn't be eating this, or beating yourself up afterwards. Just, it's always important, especially right now. And he's showing me water, that we want to bless everything that and he's saying participate in. So he means like anything that you chew, swallow, inhale, absorb, to bless all of the energy. You know, if you're smoking something, if you're drinking something, whatever it is, to bless it, because ask the creator to bless it, because that will raise the frequency of it, so that it can be absorbed and processed through the energy of pure unconditional love. You know, as we go through these upgrades, the body becomes more, he's talking about heightened sensitivities, that we have heightened sensitivities to food. I've had that this week for sure, where, I have a lot of food sensitivities, and that's just been part of my awakening. And a lot of like, as I was completely in the light body teaching classes a year ago, I had horrible digestive issues come up, and had to cut more foods out. So, pay attention to that too, because as you go through these upgrades, I know one of you has told me that you've let go of meat right now, and just be conscious of, listen to your body. Your body is always talking to you. And for all of us who are critical of our bodies, it's important to keep expressing love for our body right now. And he's talking about gratitude for being in perfect health. Perfect abundant health is what he's using, those words. Perfect abundant health. Yeah, my eyes are bad today. I don't know what's up with that, but I'm going to need to use my glasses. And then we have Lolo, stand in the light. And there's that butterfly. You are unique. You are a divine and beautiful being. You stand apart from the crowd. Sometimes this evokes jealousy or desire in others who want to possess your light and beauty as their own. You need never fear or believe that another can harm you. Allow yourself to trust who you are. You do not try to hide your inner light and beauty. You are meant to be seen. Your soul is nurtured and protected by your love for Great Spirit. And we're going to do a meditation that will be standing in a lot of light for that. But I feel like he's showing now people who he's showing me now are those of you watching who are living with those who poo-poo your beliefs. And he's saying, like, this isn't a time to convince anyone, just to go on your merry way. And he's saying, allow their opinion to remain with them. Because anytime we take it personally, a judgment, how others are judging us or what they think of us, that comes into our energy. And typically, like, when our vibrations are high enough, and of course this will link to, like, if you have things to heal from previous existences where you were maybe taunted or persecuted. But otherwise, you can always just ask that story to be taken, and he's saying that you're allowed to remain impervious to the opinions and the judgments of others. So we'll put that into the meditation that we do as well. The light is more powerful than every other thing. So all we just need to do is to stand in our light and to trust that we're protected. And as the world goes through this great time of transformation, where, the shadow is always louder than the light, and it can be a little bit like, I know, like, feeling what's out there, it doesn't feel so good. But just standing in your light protects you. And anytime that you're grounded in your body, then that stuff is just completely like, he's saying that you won't feel like it's shadowing you. That when you're grounded in your body, you're connected into the earth, that those things just pass by, and that there's no notice of them. And then Pachamama. Pachamama, the goddess of the earth, honored by the indigenous peoples of the Andes, holds space for many different creatures to live within her field, including the crazy, beautiful, dangerous, and divine humanity. She knows that life thrives through diversity. She is able to foster life with such genius and generosity because there is no fear preventing her from holding space for the new to emerge. Be open to the new and the different in yourself and your life. Be open to the new and the different in yourself and your life. I guess he wanted me to repeat that. Trust, like the Earth Mother, is an act of devotion. She is watching over you as you evolve to manifest the fullness of your sacred and original life purpose. So when we're talking about, like, her being open for many different creatures, and she recognizes that the need for diversity. That's about welcoming. He's saying he's talking about like not taking others' opinions personally, but welcome, like hearing others' opinions without a judgment and just allowing people to be heard and recognizing that, you know, the fact that each of us are different, that's what holds us all together, as that we each have unique qualities, and we're not all on the same page politically, but just being open to others' opinions. And just, you know, he's showing me like just turning off the television if something is being said that you don't agree with, that when we allow, he's saying, anger to rise up within us, it isn't a destructive force that someone sees outside of us, it causes those forces of destruction to come within us, and it sort of breaks that bond that we have of pure unconditional love. Like anytime that we feel anger toward another or judgment toward another, you know, I'm going to make a video addressing it. I'm not sure if I'll do it with Jesus in the video that I make called The Second Coming of the Christ, which there will be no comments for, or if we're going to do it in the video called A House Divided. But, you know, it's really time, and we'll focus more on it then, that we love people of every political persuasion and just recognize that they're playing a role. And that brings me to the lyrics that I printed out to read and did not bring with me into my office. Riders on the Storm. And in the lyrics in the beginning of the song, I'll put the link there in the description box. But what he was pointing out was in the beginning of that song, it's into this world we're born, into this world we're thrown. I know I'm screwing up the lyrics. But it talked about a dog without a bone. And, you know, we came in without an agenda. We were born into this life without an agenda. And he's showing me that how, you know, excited we were. I've seen myself, like before I came in for this lifetime, how excited we were because we were going to get to express our individuality. And we didn't have a side politically. And really, you know, embracing that we all think differently, but that ultimately we all want to see there be balance. And, you know, fair pay is part of that, allowing people to be paid what they're worth and to be treating everyone equally with equal importance. He's saying, regardless of the salary that they make, the race that they are, the religious beliefs that they were brought up with or that they came into, just regarding everyone with respect and unconditional love, just as the Creator loves us, you know. And this is another with Venus and Gemini. It's a good time to practice that. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. You know, and lightening up with ourselves and what's expected of us right now. And really, you know, this is a time, someone had posted something about, you know, that the best thing to do right now is to jump into action. This is not a time to jump into action. When the entire world is put on pause and told to stay home, that's a message that we need to listen to. You know, it's a time to look inward. And he's saying to get comfortable with, allowing yourself to be comfortable with looking inside at the bright light that you are and recognizing yourself for everything that you've achieved, all of the accomplishments that you've made, everything that you've overcome, to root yourself on, that's what helps propel you forward, is what he's talking about. And really taking this time to lean into your discernment is what he's saying, to allowing yourself to trust yourself, trust that the voices that you're getting, that the inspirations that are coming to you are coming from yourself, from the one true highest self, the Creator's energy, the Alpha and the Omega energy, that is a frequency of pure unconditional love, that passes then through your soul to you, through your higher self, and that those ideas that are coming to you are, he's saying, like, take them out, take them for a walk, take them for a ride, just play with those different ideas. And he's showing me like little kids in nursery school and preschool around a craft table, and how we just enjoyed making things. And he's showing me, like, remember the little glue that you used to like wipe it on the paper, not the white glue, but the goldish, yeah, it's like his color. He's showing me that, and how we were just free to create whatever he wanted. And he's saying, this is it, this is your chance to create whatever you would like your next step of the journey to be, taking advantage of the time to do that, and allowing your own flow of creativity to come forward for everyone who has stopped doing that, about the preschool time. And he's showing me a lot of men exploring their own inner gifts right now. And then I think that that's what he wants me to address. So Chiron in Aries is about, like, when you have that as a placement in your chart, it's about the story that you don't have the right to breathe. And it has to do with breathing. And a lot of us have absorbed a lot of sorrow in our lives. And he's showing me that in an effort to, like, be able to maintain, he's saying, composure, and to move forward, a lot of times that we allowed that pain to grow into bitterness, or to something that hardened our hearts so that we couldn't be hurt again. We're going to release a lot of sorrow and grief from the lungs today in the meditation that we do. And so I think that that's where we're going to stop with his message. If there's something else to add in the meditation, then he'll let me know. But so yeah, I will see you guys on the other side, or I probably won't come back on camera. I'll probably just end with the meditation. But anyway, you guys, I will be back next week, sometime during the next week, with the video that we're going to do for the new moon in Taurus that we have coming up. And yeah, so yeah, and he's saying that new moon in Taurus is something to look forward to, that it's with Uranus, which is the planet of awakening. And so he's saying, like, even though we know, we can see what things that are going to be playing out in the last video, they had me address the economy and all of the stable factors coming up with the economy and the astrology and what we know just from what's happening now. But he's saying to rest assured that we've already made, there's already provision made for us. Okay. And that this new moon that's coming up is going to be exciting. So, okay, everybody, I will be back with the meditation in just a minute. Okay, everyone. And I just wanted to pass along the message from the animals. As far as, when we're talking about balancing the economy, balancing like the haves and the have-nots, and making things, equalizing things. Of course, this is a process that plays out over a very long period of time. And during that period of time, then we're going to be asked to look at the meat consumption and the fact that that is not sustainable the way that we have it set up. And there's a lot of research that you can look into online regarding, the consumption of meat, and that the acreage that is devoted to feeding the livestock so that we can eat it, it just isn't sustainable. And that's not, a spiritual, that's just pretty well known and just accepted that there needs to be new practices of agriculture, not new, but old practices of agriculture implemented once again, and getting away from factory farming. So I just want to reiterate again the importance of blessing food right now, especially meat and water as well, because it may become an issue and not so long from now that purifying water and filtering water. So really important to be blessing your water and praying for all of the waters of the earth. So we're going to do the meditation now. We're going to release radiation from our space and do like some downloads and upgrades. And anytime that you're releasing a story or receiving a download, it's important to give a verbal yes, to acknowledge for the parts of the subconscious that you're taking that in, so that those downloads can then go in and the stories can be released, whatever we're going to be releasing. You just want to give a verbal, it's like a verbal agreement, and that's sort of what sets it into motion for you. So even if it's a whisper, just a yes out loud is important. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put our feet on the floor for everyone who isn't standing. We're going to close our eyes. And when he asks us to take a deep cleansing breath, that's an inhale through the nose for 3 seconds and a 3-second release. And you can see that energy coming up from the root, through the root chakra as you inhale, and as you exhale, you want to witness it coming out from the root chakra, extending all the way down into the earth. So we're going to take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Center yourself in your heart space. We're going to focus now about 20 inches above our heads in the stellar gateway, witnessing Archangel Sandalphon's bronze ray filling the stellar gateway. And that is the energy of Sandalphon in the bronze ray. And then moving into the solar star, the soul star, the crown star, the crown chakra, so filling the pineal gland, moving forward to the amygdala, the third eye, as it moves back to the Alta Major at the base of the brain, filling the throat chakra, the heart chakra, moving into the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, the root chakra, releasing the cord from the root chakra and witnessing the bronze ray spiraling down through the legs, coming into the earth star, clearing any debris around or near the earth star, witnessing as the pentagram spins, connecting into the crystalline grid of the earth. And then we're witnessing, following that cord that's going down into the heart of Mother Gaia, which I see as quartz, with that pearly iridescent white light at the center, plugging in there. And then we're witnessing that pure white light flowing up through the cord, moving into the earth star, witnessing the earth star as it becomes crystalline, coming up into the base chakra, releasing anything of fear. So we're going to ask the Creator to download everyone what it means to live with a sense of safety and safekeeping, and what that means from the Creator's perspective. And you could say yes if that's okay. Moving up into the sacral chakra, going to release anything clogging our creativity and anything that it has lost its use, is no longer useful to you, and anything that may be inhibiting you being able to tap into your creative gifts. You could say yes if that's okay. And moving into the solar plexus, going to ask the Creator to download all aspects and all levels of you, what it means from the Creator's perspective to live in an abundance of joy. You could say yes, if that's okay. And what it feels like to vibrate with joy of the Creator. You could say yes. And to carry that joy within you, and to appreciate the joy found in every moment. You could say yes. Coming up then and engulfing, emboldening the heart chakra. Moving up to the throat chakra, clearing any chains, anything that is without light. You could say yes, if that's okay. Moving into the pineal gland as we come up into the crown chakra, the soul star, the crown star, the soul star, the solar star, and the stellar gateway. And I want you to see then how the light expands above the stellar gateway. And we're going to witness coming from the light that is like you're standing in the pillar of light within you. We're going to witness that energy then begin to rotate. So looking then above the stellar gateway, seeing the white, pearly, iridescent light that goes on and on and on, and watching that funnel then down around your aura, going to expand your aura out so that your aura fills the room that you're seated in or standing in, and moving out from there. And you can see as your aura expands that you are without touching or infringing on anyone else's energy or allowing anything else to covet your space, he's saying, or to violate your space. You could say yes, if that's okay. And then we're watching that pearly iridescent white light funnel around your aura, coming down, moving down into the center of the earth and coming up through you as a vortex. So we're witnessing the energy flowing up through the stellar gateway and coming back down around, moving into the heart of Mother Gaia, and then moving up from her as a vortex, spinning through you and creating a column, forming a column around you. You could say yes, if that's okay. We're going to ask the Creator to remove anything disharmonious in your field. You could say yes, if that's okay. Now we're going to release from the physical body. The physical body does need some radiation, so we're going to just make the statement that we release any unnecessary radiation or EMFs from the physical body, and you could say yes. And you'll see that moving out from the right side. It'll come out the right side of the body, and it looks like some may see it as gray clouds or tiny little particles of black moving out away from you and transmuting them to pure love. Then as we're standing, we're going to ask the Creator to download all aspects and all levels of you, what it means to feel supported by the love of Mother Gaia. You could say yes, if that's okay. We're going to ask the Creator to balance the elements of earth, air, water, and fire within you. You could say yes, if that's okay. We're going to ask the Creator to balance and integrate the divine feminine and divine masculine energy within you. You could say yes, if that's okay. We're going to ask the Creator to release the consciousness of fear from all of your bodies, save the monochrome of fear that keeps you from running out in front of a car, but any unnecessary fear. We're going to ask the Creator to release from all of your bodies and send those to the light of creation. You could say yes, if that's okay. Releasing the story that you need fear to survive, that fear is beneficial and that it keeps you well hidden. You could say yes. And then downloading all aspects and all levels of you, what it means to live with an emboldened heart, that you are emboldened by the light, that you are graceful in your practice of the light, and that you allow others their opinion without offense. You could say yes, if that's okay. And that you're allowed to share freely when you feel moved to do so. You could say yes, if that's okay. Some of you may see these as numbers running into the chakras or different places. Some of you may see these as rays. I'm just witnessing all of the ways that the downloads are going in for all of you. We're going to ask the Creator then to move through the lungs, allowing the peace of the Creator to fill your lungs. Joy, steadiness. We're going to release any grief or sorrow hidden away in the lungs, is what Sandalphon is saying. So you could say yes, if that's okay. And that your lungs know what it means to support you in the vibration of the Creator's pure unconditional love. That they're allowed to flow in the vibration of joy and to carry joy and what it means to live in joy while residing on the planet Earth. You could say yes, if that's okay. We're going to ask the Creator to download all aspects and all levels of you, what it means to enjoy your life on the earth and breathing the breath of life. You could say yes, if that's okay. That you're grateful for allowing and being allowed to consume the oxygen around you, that it is infused with joy. Yes. And then we're going to ask the Creator to download all aspects and all levels of you, what it means that even at a serious time, that life does not have to be so serious. And that you're allowed to lighten up and to allow your inner child to play and to remember what it's like to be carefree and filled with wonder. You could say yes, if that's okay. We're going to ask the Creator to remove any history, he's saying, and any energy of tension and grief stored within the physical homes that you live in, and also within the heart of the physical body. You could say yes, if that's okay. And then we're going to move up to the brain. We're going to just ask the Creator to balance the hormones and the chemicals in your brain, and you'll probably feel a little tingling there if you say yes. That the balance is what is for the highest and best of optimal potential for you, and that your story of what that means matches the Creator's truth for all aspects and all levels of you. You could say yes. And then we're going to, Sandalphon is moving down. And moving into your feet. We're going to ask, now you can see, I'm seeing that all of you are in quartz, like in your light body. He's saying that some of you will be having light body activations during this meditation. So as he comes down then and grounds you, we're going to ask the Creator to download all aspects and all levels of you, what it means to be aligned with the Creator's frequency of pure unconditional love, that's harmonized with you, and to bring harmony and repair any disharmony between yourself and the earth. You could say yes if that's okay. That even as the earth goes through fluctuations and great change at this time, that your energy and your physical body are able to withstand these changes. And to recall, he's saying, the earth as your home. And you could say yes if that's okay. That you chose to be here now, that you're needed here now, and that you're valued here now. You could say yes if that's okay. And then we're just going to witness, if you just want to envision in your mind's eye where the firmament ends, like the upper layers of the atmosphere, beginning there, just witnessing the pure unconditional love of the Creator absorbing all of the unnecessary radiation plaguing the planet. You could say yes if that's okay. And then just witness that coming down through the air to all of the towers on the earth. And some of you will see them looking different ways. And then we're going to follow from the tower, following the signals to the satellites and clearing anything of disharmony with the satellites. And then I'm seeing some that I don't know if people don't know that they're there, but they don't look like they're serving us. So I'm just going to, if some of you can see them, they're black and they're putting an X on them for me. I'm just going to witness the light enfolding those satellites so that they're brought to our consciousness, our attention in some way. You could say yes if you agree with that. And now he's showing me all of us linked arm in arm with he's saying countless others backed up, literally back in back of us. The members of the soul family whose higher selves are participating in the ancestors as well. And then we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth again. Moving back into our heart space. Coming down to the solar plexus. The energy moving down into the root chakra. Connecting us in with the earth star, with the grid of the earth, asking Sandalphon to ground anyone who is still feeling floaty. Okay, and then you could take a deep breath in once again. And as you exhale, open your eyes. Some of you may be seeing the room might seem brighter than when we close our eyes. But anyway, everybody, I know this has gone long. I hope that this was helpful for all of you. Thank you so much for participating. And I will speak to all of you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.